Hello folks, this is Sula speaking. You're listening to another video for Teamfight Tactics. So this is some more footage taken from the public beta environment, the PBE. This is early in set 10, Remix Rumble. I think that's what it's officially called. And in this game, we're going to be looking at a different team composition from the 8-bit one that I featured in the last one I did. This time we're going to be looking at a country team composition. So yeah, country team composition in this one. All right, here in set 10, we always start with a portal, just as we did in set 9, although the portals are not as impactful overall. Out of these different options here, the multi-talented one is pretty rare. This is the first time I've seen this one, and so you can see most of the people go towards that one. But I have run to the triple champion start because that is the least impact on the game. And I'm actually the one who gets chosen, so everybody can hate me for being the one that ran over there. This just means that we start with 3 different champions instead of 1, so it has very little impact on the game overall. I guess you get 2 additional gold if you sell 2 out of the 3 of them, and you have slightly more options when building a board at the very beginning of the game. The other one that the other people wanted was each headliner would have 2 traits as headliners, and I did not want that. Anyway, this is kind of interesting. I get a champion duplicator right from the very start of the game, and if you do get one of them, it's often an indication that you might want to lean into some kind of reroll team composition. So at the moment, I have no particular clue what I might want to play. I'm like, I don't think that I want a Lilia headliner. I'm struggling to not call these chosen. I'm struggling not to call these chosen units because that's what they were called in set 4 when we previously had the mechanic. If you haven't seen set 10 yet, it's still very new. It's still not officially out yet because this is still on the beta environment. The mechanic for this set are these headliners. They show up in the shop as 2-star units. And I actually am going to pick up this Tom Kench. I see this Tom Kench. I was like, all right, Tom Kench with headliner trait of country. Sure, we can go ahead and play that. That sounds like fun. So I go ahead and pick this. So the unit starts out as 2-starred, and one of their traits is counts as +1 for that trait. Again, it's very similar to how the chosen mechanic worked in set 4. There's a couple differences, but it's basically the same thing, more or less the same thing, and it's that pretty much probably the best mechanic they've ever had in Teamfight Tactics. So it's really nice to see this come back. Why did this not come back much sooner? Anyway, though, so I could have had a Bruiser Tom Kench, or I could have had a Country Tom Kench. I ended up getting the Country version. All right, so none of these initially appeal to me, so I'm like, all right, I'm going to reroll some of these. Then, Bounty Hunters. Country champions have a 20% chance to drop 1 gold on kill. Your Dreadsteed's chances are doubled. Gain a Samira. I was like, oh, okay. And then look, there's another country unit in my shop, Katarina. I was like, okay, this is feeling like a country game here. So the first question you might ask is, what is country? What does this trait do? Well, this is a variation on a trait that usually shows up in each set. Most of the sets in Teamfight Tactics have had a trait like this, whereby as you get more units in the trait, you basically get an additional unit that comes and join your board. And by the way, I'm looking here at Samira's ability. And so what this one does is, as you get more units, more ranks in the country trait, you bring in a Hecarim, basically, who comes onto your board. Let me read the official description, but that's more or less what it does is Hecarim will come join your board. And if you have more ranks in country, it's a stronger Hecarim. Okay, when your team loses 30% of their health, a Dreadsteed that empowers your team. Wait, that's the official description? When your team loses 30% of their health, a Dreadsteed that empowers your team. Okay. They might want to reword that. I guess it like emerges, enters the playing field. Anyway, each country star level increases the Dreadsteed's health and attack damage. So you can have 3, 5, or 7. The cheat sheet does not have any stats on. Does not have any particular stats on what this actually does, but more ranks in the trait mean a stronger Hecarim, or Dreadsteed as it's officially called. And by the way, now I found an Urgot in the shop, so that's actually 4 of the 5 country units. The only country, so I'll just drop the Gragas, who's not really doing anything. I mean, he's giving me Bruiser trait, but, whatever. I'd rather have the upgraded Hecarim. Anyway, so yeah, I actually have country 5 in on 2-2, which is pretty ridiculous. There's 5 country units in this game. So you have Tom Kench, a 1 cost, Katarina, a 2 cost, Samira, a 3 cost, Urgot, also a 3 cost, and then Thresh, who's a 4 cost unit. So I won't be seeing Thresh, for some time because he's a 4 cost unit. But and normally that would only get you to country 4. But again, I have a headliner, Tom Kench, who has +1 to the country trait, so that gets me up to country 5. And so the Hecarim is going to be stronger that comes in here. Still not that strong because the Hecarim is, most of my units are 1-starred. I think everything except the Tahm Kench is 1-starred. And additional star levels increase the power of the Dread Steed, but I'm probably just going to call him the Hecarim because that's what the unit's official name, that's what the unit's name is in League of Legends. So yeah, I don't have many star levels total. So let's see, I have 2-star Tom and then 1-star, 1-star, 1. So that's only 5 total stars. So that's not going to be a particularly strong Hecarim coming in there. Anyway, though, so that's that trait. Again, there's been versions of this in a whole bunch of different sets. I remember set 5, what is it, set 4, Cultist had Galio who would come in. Set 5 had Scion, who the Undead Scion would come charging in. Set 6 had Innovators. Did set 7 have a version of this? It probably did. I just can't remember. I guess Trainer was a version of this, so that worked a little bit differently. Anyway, you get the idea. There's been a lot of this trait in past sets, and I've always found this to be kind of a fun trait to play around in different sets. The great thing about this set, I mean, again, we're still super early on. It's still PBE. You know, it's still very, very, very early on here. But the great thing about this set is just the headliners add so much flexibility and replayability to this game because just as I have gotten a country Tahm Kench headliner here, if I'd gotten a bruiser Tahm Kench, this opening would play out totally differently. In fact, I could probably look to play 4 bruisers for my opening if I'd gotten a bruiser Tahm Kench here. And that's why this system is so great. You really have to be flexible. You have to think on your feet. You have to adapt to what the units you're getting in the shop are, what the headliner traits are. You have to play flexibly in this set. It's really hard to just force something over and over and over again in game after game because you're not going to get the same headliners in game after game, and what you see is going to affect how you play. So I really like it. This is Teamfight Tactics at its best as far as I'm concerned. Anyway, I am Let's Pick on the carousel because I won the first 3 rounds. I will say the one thing that's been disappointing thus far is the fact that I am not getting much gold from my augment. So remember, the augment that I took, as I take a sword off carousel, the augment that I took gives me a chance to drop gold. Enemy units get a chance to drop gold. Was it 20% odds anytime a country unit kills a unit that they will drop gold? And that's actually doubled for Hecarim. So if Hecarim kills a unit, it's 40% odds to drop gold. I don't think I've gotten a single gold piece to drop yet, and my whole board was country units. So that was a lot of 20% chances that failed thus far. It would have been, like, if I had gotten 2 or 3 gold to drop right now, I might be able to hit that next income breakpoint. But anyway, I am win streaking here. Being on a win streak is nice. Because I have this augment that prints gold when I kill units, I kind of want to level aggressively because I want to be killing units and getting gold to drop as a result of that augment that I have. The other thing, and there we go, there's my first gold coin dropping. So I did get +1 gold there, which is nice. But the other thing that augment did is it just gave me a Samira. Like, just having a Samira is what has made my early game work here. If I didn't have a Samira, I wouldn't have a carry to play through. So, I mean, I guess I could have itemized the Urgot, but I was kind of lucky to hit the Urgot as well. So game plan for this game, I have the Champion Duplicator. I'm going to try to get up to level 7. Level 7 is where you have a very good odds to reroll for 3 costs. I believe level 8 now has slightly better odds. I think it's 35% at level 7 and 38% at level 8, but it costs a lot more gold to get to level 8. That could be put into rerolling. So I'm going to try to get to level 7. I will eventually want to sell this Tahm Kench, because it is a 1-cost unit that's serving as the headliner. I'm going to want to sell this later on because that'll open up the chance to get a better headliner. Instead of a 1-cost headliner, maybe like a 3 or 4-cost headliner. And we'll go from there. But I'm going to need to find Thresh before I can do that because I want to make sure I have Country 5 in for the upgraded Hecarim. And so if I can get Thresh in, I could sell Tom and then replace with like a non-headliner Tahm Kench and still have Country 5. So, yeah, you have to be thinking about transitioning too. I mean, there are some comps that can just play one headliner the entire game, but in a lot of games, you're going to have to be transitioning, and that does take some skill. All right, this is a really close fight. Samira, oh, are you kidding me? 30 HP. That interrupts a full win streak. And what's worse, that other player now is on a full win streak. Well, 4 rounds in a row. Full win streak is, I guess, technically 5 wins in a row. But, 30 HP to have my win streak ended right before the minion round. Oh, that actually is going to cost me a lot of money, like a lot of money to have that happen. If you're watching this video, you probably know this already, but when you're on a win streak or a loss streak, you get additional gold. And that carries through into minion rounds like this one. So instead of getting no gold for a streak, I would have gotten 3 extra gold and then another 3 extra gold on the following round for being on full win streak. So that actually cost me a lot of money. And to have it be 1 auto attack on the last unit remaining is not good. Not good at all. All right, I'll hold these Olafs because I can maybe get a 2-star Olaf, which would be nice. I'm gonna go ahead and sell that Echo there, who does not fit this team comp. I'm looking for Set. Set would be a bruiser that also gives me Mosher trait. And out of these items here, I was like, okay, I mostly got tank items, and then I got a rod. Oh, by the way, there we go. Now we have 2-star Gragas. Where was that 1 round sooner? 1 round sooner, and I definitely win that last fight. So anyway, I am just going to opt to itemize the Tom Kench. I could make Gunblade, which is not a bad item on Samira at all, but I already have the Hand of Justice, which is already a healing item. So I don't think I need double healing items on her. I think the Hand of Justice is pretty good. Okay, let me go ahead and cover Samira while we're at it, because she's kind of my main carry that I am playing through here. All right, so Samira is, her traits are Country and Executioner. Of course, she has Country. We have not gotten the Executioner trait in yet. I will talk about that when we get closer, when I actually put the trait in. Her ability is called Thrills and Kills. Passive attacks that critically strike grant a stack of Style, up to 6 stacks. Each stack grants attack speed. So you really want to give her stuff that allows her to crit, but not Infinity Edge for reasons I'll talk about later. Active, deal physical damage to the current target, then another physical damage per style stack. Afterwards, reset style. So you want her to stack up these stacks of style, which she gets by critting, and then she uses them when she casts her ability, when her mana bar fills up. All right, so out of these options here, second augment's going to be silver. I don't see anything that's that great. Rolling for days would not be terrible, but I think I might be able to do better than that. Let's see, vampirism, maybe. And then, team building. Gain a lesser champion duplicator. Gain another after 7-player combats. Well, that would not be very good for most team comps, but I'm going to be re-rolling for Samira and re-rolling for Urgot here. And the lesser champion duplicators work perfectly fine for that. So that's actually great. I'm quite happy to have that happen. Anyway, I don't really have another unit to put in, so I'll just put another Samira in here. In retrospect, I probably should have put in the Vi to get Mosher trait in for Urgot, but I'm not sure it makes that big of a difference. There's a Mosher Nar headliner, but I don't want that. I'm not really playing through the Mosher trait. Right now, Samira is the unit I'm playing through because she's the one I've been itemizing. Yeah, you can see I do pick that up later afterwards. Now, there is an argument if you want to try to win streak to just use a champion duplicator on the Samira right now to get 2-star Samira. And I would have thought about doing that if I was still on full win streak, but I'm not on full win streak. Remember, I lost that round at the end of stage 2. So because I'm not on a big win streak, I think it's better just to hold that. And I probably would have lost this round anyway. You can see I'm probably not going to win this. This is a 3-star Jinx. This person's playing Punk trait. Which is still probably a little overtuned. They've nerfed it a little bit, but it's probably still a little overtuned. But they have the 3-star Jinx, and I'm not going to beat that with a 1-star Samira. All right, and then look at this. Oh, hello. There's an Akali here. Okay. Akali is going to give me an early version of the Executioner trait. So I was like, all right, well, I'm definitely going to play that over this Vi, who's a 1-cost unit. Akali's a 4-cost unit, so I hit that at 5% odds. And it's very nice to get the Executioner on here. So what does Executioner trait do? This is, as I said, this is the other trait for Samira, who's the main carry I'm playing. It's basically like the old Assassin trait from earlier sets, except that the units do not jump to the back lines. Okay, Executioner abilities can critically strike, and they gain critical strike damage. Their critical strike chances increase based on their target's missing health. So Executioner 2 is 15% crit damage, and then up to additional 15% crit chance if the other unit is low on health. So, but basically it's crit damage and crit chance is what the trait gives. By the way, hey, there's another gold coin. Very nice. But so the reason for this is, the big thing though is it lets your unit's abilities critically strike. So you don't really need Infinity Edge on an Executioner unit as long as you have their trait in play, because their ability can already crit. And the stats on Infinity Edge and Jeweled Gauntlet, which is the AP version, they're actually pretty low stats, because one of the big things those items do is allow the abilities to crit. So you're kind of wasting stats if you take an Executioner unit and put Infinity Edge on them, because they already can, they can already crit anyway. By the way, there's a Thresh on this. I would not mind taking that Thresh if I can possibly get that. Is the Thresh still going to be there? All right. Thresh was still there, but I opt to get the more perfect defensive item instead. Maybe I should have just taken the Thresh here. I could have made Sunfire Cape, which would have been good. But instead, I opt to make the Bramble Vest instead. As I said, this is a more perfect unit. More perfect defensive item here. So I have the, and then I decide I'm going to go ahead and put in Karthus, who's another Executioner unit. There's actually 2 4-cost Executioners, Akali and Karthus. Kali's considered to be a bit underpowered in this PBE patch. She kind of doesn't do that much. So I'm going to play the Karthus instead. The other reason is Karthus deals magic damage, Akali deals physical damage. I don't really have, I kind of already have too many champs that deal physical damage. Samira's physical damage, Urgot's physical damage, Akali is also physical damage. Like, there's no way I'm going to have enough items to itemize all of these units. So if I get a bunch of AP items, maybe I can put them on Karthus. That's why he makes, I think, a little bit more sense to play on this board. And the other reason is Karthus is my favorite champ of all time from League of Legends. So, yeah, he's finally back in this set, back from set 1. Gonna have to do a dedicated Karthus build in one of these videos so I can feature him. But yeah, so I'm happy to put Karthus in there. His ult is Requiem. It's not actually called that, but it's Requiem. It hits the whole board and deals damage to everyone on the enemy field. So yeah, I mean, it's Karthus. He has to have that ability. All right, now this is a fantastic shop. I managed to 2-star Samira, and I get another Urgot, and I get another Tahm Kench. Remember, I'm going to look to sell Tahm Kench and replace as soon as I get to level 7. And I can find a Thresh. And I'm planning on staying on level 7 for a while because level 7 gives me really good odds to hit 3-cost units. Remember, I have that champion duplicator from the very beginning of the game. I have a second lesser champion duplicator, and I'm going to get another lesser champion duplicator in a couple rounds. So if I can hit like a Samira headliner, that would give me 3 copies of Samira. Then I already have 3 duplicators right there to be able to hit the Samira 3-star very easily. Now, maybe I might want to save some of them, but the lesser champion duplicators in particular, you can only use on 1, 2, and 3-cost units, so I might as well use them on some of these. So yeah, I'm hoping I can just find a few more Samiras and maybe find a Samira headliner. That would be really, really nice. But I probably can't find a Samira headliner unless I sell the Tahm Kench. You actually do see headliners in the store if you have a headliner currently, but you actually see a headliner in every store if you don't have one. You see it in 1 every 4 stores if you do have a headliner. So there's my 1 every 4 stores right now. All right, so I will go ahead and level to 7 here. And I was like, all right, I'll just put in this Jax to get Masher trait in play. That's for Urgot. But I probably should have just played the Akali, even though that would only go up to Executioner 3. Probably would still just be better to play the Akali because the Jax is just a dead unit, except he's giving Masher trait to Urgot, and Urgot's a 1-star unit with no items. So is Urgot really doing anything? Probably not. Anyway, there you can see the odds. Right now, it's 40% odds for headliners to be 2-cost and 60% odds for them to be 3-cost. By the way, there's a Jhin who's considered to be probably the strongest unit in this build of PBE. Hitting a Jhin at 1% odds on 4-1 is crazy, but I just can't fit him into this board. He just doesn't fit at all, unfortunately. So yeah, then I decided, all right, I'll just play the Akali. It's just a better unit to play instead. All right, still rolling here. I have to roll kind of slowly because it's the beginning of the set. And oh, okay. Well, this is perfect. There's 2-star Tahm Kench, and then there's the Thresh, so I can just put in Thresh. There we go. I am going to have to drop the Akali for that, but that's okay. And now I'm going to move my tech items over to Thresh. He is just a 1-star unit, and he does not have his Guardian trait in, but I do think that he's going to be pretty good long term. All right, so I decided to use some more of my items. I had this leftover, I had this leftover sword, and I decided I'd go ahead and make Infinity Edge, even knowing that it was going to waste some of the stats on Samira. It's still not a bad item on her. Anything that gives crit chance is good for her because of how her ability works. But yeah, as I said, the stats are somewhat wasted, but I think it was a decent option for what I had available. And then I'm going to go ahead and slap this rod on Karthus because, as I said, Karthus is giving me Executioner trait, and he can actually use AP items. Now we're going to get one more augment, and this augment's actually going to define the remaining course of this game. So at first I was like, oh, new recruit, another champion duplicator. Well, let's just take that. But then I was like, no, let's just re-roll the other options to see, and then, ooh, prismatic ticket. Each time your shop is re-rolled, you have 45% odds to get a shop refresh. All right, now I've 2-starred the Akali, so that's got to be better than the Karthus, right? But I just made a death cap for Karthus, so I was like, oh. Well, that's not so great. Okay, I don't know quite how I'm going to do this here. Well, let's just keep rolling for the time being and see. I'm getting a lot of free shop refreshes. There's actually a Katarina chosen, a Katarina headliner in the store, but that's not really going to do anything for me. And this is really interesting. There's a country Urgot, but I was like, no, I want to play through Samira. I'll hold here. Sooner or later, I'm going to see a Samira. Urgot is not the unit I'm playing through, so I'll just hold. But in the course of re-rolling there, I rolled down to 30-ish gold. I didn't hit that many Samiras. I'm on 5 of them, but I did 2-star the Akali, and I'm actually up to 7 Katarinas now. So I was like, okay, Well, there is one other person who can use AP items in this comp, and it's Katarina. So what I can do is I can sell the Karthus, move the Death Cap over to Katarina, and then put in the Akali, who's a 2-star 4-cost. That's going to be better than Karthus. And I'm probably going to 3-star the Katarina. I'm very close already. So, yeah, we might as well do that. And I'm actually on a nice win streak here again. I'm out to a 5-match winning streak here. So I'm feeling pretty good about this. Still on 91 HP. And I'm just going to keep rolling here. So, all right, Karthus comes out. Akali goes in. We'll put this on Katarina because she deals magic damage. We still have the double champion duplicators there. I'm really hoping I can find a Samira headliner here. Gragas, no, that's not going to do anything. And then this is somewhat tempting too. I really want Set, but no. Bruiser, I mean, I guess I could play 4 Bruiser, but it's like, no. Samira is the unit I need here. Just going to continue taking your time. There is Set, finally. So we're going to drop the Gragas, and Set's nice. So Set's great because he's both a Bruiser and he gives me Mosher trait too. By the way, and there's another Thresh. I'll just keep rolling here. As long as I get these free rerolls, I might as well use them. There we go. There's 6 Samira. So come on, Samira headliner, please. Just 1 Samira headliner. There we go. So I'll pick up the Set. And a Mosher Urgot. Well, if I passed on a country Urgot, I'm not going to take a Mosher Urgot. So yeah, I'm just really, really passing here on the Urgots. Could have definitely had an Urgot headliner, but I was like, no, it's Samira. Samira is the one I need, and I should be able to find this, right? It's got to show me the Samiras at some point. And on top of that, I'm about to get 2 more lesser champion. I'm about to get another lesser champion duplicator. So if I find 1 more Samira, I can just double lesser champion duplicator. So I'm really close to just hitting her the natural way too. But I'm kind of hoping that I'll get just get the Samira headliner. No one else is, by the way, no one else is playing country in this lobby, which is really nice. All these units are completely uncontested. So, yeah, no one else is going to be taking these units out of the pool. You're unlikely to play Samira. I mean, I guess if you're playing like 4 Executioners, you could take some of them out of the pool, but still not that likely. All right, I didn't really have anything I wanted here. I did not want another rod, so I go ahead and take this cloak, and that's because Poppy's also a 4-cost unit. Okay, so I could make another Dragon's Cloak, but I already have a Dragon's Cloak, so that seems unnecessary. Yeah, there's the other champion duplicator. Alrighty, well, I think we just keep rolling for the time being. We get these free rerolls, so all right, we're just going to keep rerolling. There's another cat. That's 7 cats. By the way, keep thinking the Mordekaiser's on my board. That's going to help a lot. 2-star Thresh. All right, 2-star Set. That's nice. There's another Set. Another Katarina. It's like, can we find a Samira headliner here, maybe? And I'll stop there for right now. But all these rerolls are really, really nice. The one thing, though, getting these rerolls is great, and I do think that Prismatic Ticket is one of the better of the augments. It does combine really well with the headliner system as well, because you can get 3 copies of a unit via headliner. So if you can just get 6 copies with these rerolls, and then you hit the headliner, you can 3-star some of these units a lot easier. They've actually nerfed it. By the way, you see me getting steamrolled here. They actually have nerfed it down from, it used to be 50% odds to get a free reroll. They've nerfed it down to 45%. They might have to knock it down to 40%, honestly. So I have lost these last 2 rounds, kind of got destroyed these last 2 rounds. So the potential's there for my board to get really strong. And there we go. There is the cat 3-star. But it's kind of like potential right now. I've got all these duplicators on my bench. If I can hit these 3-stars, I'm going to be a lot stronger. But I mean, come on, Samira. Where is my Samira headliner? I cannot seem to find this unit. Where is it? I will pick up the Set. So I have Set, who's a 3-cost unit, Urgot, who's a 3-cost unit, and Samira, who's a 3-cost unit. But, like, where are the Samiras? Where's the Samira headliner? I feel like I've seen so many 2- and 3-cost units as headliners, but not the Samira yet. I do think that's maybe been a little bit unlucky. So yeah, I'm close to just duplicating the Samira, but I would like to find at least 1 or 2 more of these. I did hit the 3-star Katarina, so that's something. But I don't quite know how to itemize her, and I don't have her other trait in. Katarina's traits are Country plus Crowd Diver. So I've actually gone quite a while here without a headliner on my board, which is not ideal. You're kind of giving up a lot of power by not having a headliner on your board. But yeah, I'm still just trying to be patient here, just trying to find this Samira. Where is she? Anyway, I'll take advantage of my free rerolls here. All right, well, we are at the 6th set, so that's not nothing. So again, we'll just continue looking here. This would get me 3-star Set, but I mean, a Mosher, that's not going to do anything. Like going up to Mosher, I'm on Mosher 2, that would take me to Mosher 3. And Mosher's the trait on Set and Urgot, but like that's not going to do anything. Urgot has no items, and he's a 2-star unit. So that, I mean, I could have had 3-star Set here, but it's just not going to do anything for me to do that. I really want that Samira. All right, these are better items. A sword and a bow, that's not bad. The tear, a little bit less so. But anyway, there's a Samira, so that's looking good. Okay. Can we find something? We could technically reroll for a Mumu as well. And there's another Urgot. Okay. So at this point, I was like, all right, I'm just going to double lesser champion duplicate the Samira to get the Samira 3-star. Now let's look to go ahead and level. Out of these items, Hurricane's a decent item on Urgot. You know what I should have done? I should have pulled my Anvil here. But I go ahead and make Giant Slayer on Samira, which is actually a very good item on her. And then out of these items, I was like, yeah, not quite sure what to do. I probably should have taken the Sparring Glove and made a Quicksilver Sash, maybe. But I decide we'll finish itemizing Thresh. He's going to have really good tank items. The one thing I wish I had was more health. I wish I had like a Warmogs on him or something that gave him additional health, because he doesn't actually have that much health, but he has really high armor and MR. And then I've got these leftover items, so that's an adaptive helm. It's the old Chalice, now it's an adaptive helm. So I guess I'll just put that on Katarina, because it's kind of an AP item. All right, so we'll go ahead and put that on her, and then now we'll get to level 8, and at level 8 we can put in, probably what we should put in is Guardian trait, so that Thresh gets Guardian trait in play. That's a tank trait. But I figured I'd maybe wait around. Oh, never mind. I guess I just went here immediately. I should probably just put the Amumu in here. Yeah, there's another Urgot. I really should have probably grabbed that Amumu earlier. And I'm still looking for a headliner. And then I see this Vex Executioner headliner. It's like, oh, okay. Well, that would get us to 4 Executioner. That sounds pretty good. So we'll just play that for right now. I don't really want to run this long term, but I'll run it for the moment. Can always reroll later and see what else we get. So Executioner 4 doubles the crit chance. It's initially up to 15% crit chance. This goes up to 35%. And initially 15% crit damage. It goes up to 30% crit damage. So it's going to be very nice for Samira. It just gives her more crit stuff. So now she's pretty much guaranteed to crit on every attack. So I think that that's pretty good. But this unit's pretty disposable. Vex is definitely a unit I could move out of if I could find something else better. But anyway, for the moment, I'm just going to sit here and let my gold build up. And then I'm going to look to get some more gold in the bank. Once I have more gold, I'm going to look to roll again. But I think I'm relatively stable here. I am on 5 Urgots. I still have a champion duplicator. I'm on 6 sets. So if I can get a few more of either of these, I could look to duplicate them. And yeah, I think we're good for now. But I'd love to find a better a better headliner. This is certainly serviceable, but I think I might be able to do better. Like I might be able to find an Urgot or something. Or if I can build up enough gold, I do have 18% odds to see the forecast here. Maybe I could try to go for a 3-star forecast. That's not out of the realm of possibility. Because, I don't know. If I could get, what is it? I have 3 Akalis right now. If I could find, 2 more Akalis and then duplicate it and then find an Akali headliner, that would be 3-star Akali. So that actually wouldn't be that hard to do. All right, anyway, so I win that round as well. And I think I'm in pretty good shape here. It looks like I'm going to get a top 4, but I'm still hoping I can maybe do a little bit better. All right, so out of these options here, let's see. I could use an item for Urgot, potentially. So I could maybe get QSS or Edge of Night for Urgot. That wouldn't be a terrible decision. But I decide, you know what? I've got a 3-star Katarina. Maybe I should go ahead and get an item that's going to help the Katarina. So I'll go ahead and take the Thresh here, and then that'll get me Ionic Spark for Katarina's last item. This is going to debuff the magic resistance of nearby enemies, so I think that'll be helpful, and it just gives her a little bit more AP. Are these ideal Katarina items? I don't think so. I think you would want something that has lifesteal on it. I think you'd want a Gunblade or a Hand of Justice or something like that on her. Oh, and then here I decide, oh, you know what I should do? I should put in Crowd Diver, because that's Katarina's other trait. But I think in retrospect this was a mistake. I think this was significantly weaker than what I had right there. I think 4 Executioner was much better. So what does Crowd Diver actually do? I'll read it. After Crowd Divers die, they leap onto the furthest away enemy, dealing 300 magic damage. Enemies within 1 hex are stunned by 1.5 seconds. They also deal bonus damage increased by 1% each second. Crowd Diver 2 is 5% bonus damage, and it goes up by 1% each second. I don't think that is very good, honestly. I think it was a mistake to move out of that. And the Zed is completely useless. He does absolutely nothing for me. So I think having Executioner 4 with a 2-star Vex was a lot better than what I had there. But you know, it's early in the set. We make mistakes, and this is part of what makes the headliner system fun. Is you know, you have to think on your feet, and sometimes you will put a unit in and then regret it. And yeah, you see immediately, I'm like, all right, well that seems like it was a mistake. Let's put in a Guardian unit. We'll just put in this Amumu, who's another tank unit. So that'll put Guardian trait in play for Thresh, which I definitely think will be helpful here. So Guardian trait is once per combat at 50% health, Guardians shield themselves and their closest ally for percent of their max health. Guardian 2 is 30%. So because it's a percentage of max health, it is a shame I don't have like a Warmogs or something for that last slot on the Thresh, because he'll shield somebody, but you know, 30% of his health bar. His health bar is relatively small. Still, it does help because he has a tremendous amount of armor and MR. Like his armor and magic resistance is very high, so getting a shield that gives him effectively 30% more health is pretty nice. And since he is my main tank, buffing him up is pretty good. That's a lot better than that Crowd Diver trait that's basically doing nothing. All right, I'm up against this Punk board. Can we kill the Jinx? Yes, we do. And wow, I actually printed a lot of gold that round. So, okay. Actually got me up to 40 gold, which is nice. All right, so I managed to rebuild my bank account. I had rolled myself down pretty low. Oh, and then I get an Executioner Karthus. So I was like, all right, well, let's go back up to 4 Executioner again, okay? That sounds pretty good. We'll go back up to the 4 Executioner. So now Karthus is back on my board again. You could say this is me being indecisive, and that's not wrong. I am being indecisive in this game. But I also do think that it showed that I was trying to play flexibly and work around this. So, like, I made a mistake. I should have held on to the Vex. But in the end, I got a better unit because Karthus is a better unit than Vex. Vex is a 3-cost. Karthus is a 4-cost. And, oh, hello, we got another champion duplicator. And that's the full champion duplicator, by the way. So, and I was like, oh, hello, Thresh. We're on 5 Threshes, and we have double champion duplicators here. So if I can find a Thresh headliner, I could have Thresh 3-star, and he's a 4-cost unit. Or if I can just find 2 more Threshes naturally, that would work too. By the way, there's another set. So we're getting close on the set. Continue. We have so many rerolls here. It's really nice. All right, I'm going to pull the Anvil here, and I was like, all right, let's go ahead. We're probably going to have 3-star set very soon because we're on 8 sets. I could champion duplicate him right now, but I'm going to hold on to the champion duplicator. And then I decide, you know what? Let's just sell the Karthus. We're not too likely to hit this. I think I'm going to hit 3-star Thresh 3-star set pretty soon. So let's put this Evan Shroud on him. That is going to shred the armor of units near him, which is a big deal because my team is very heavy physical damage. Not going to be enough to win this round, but Samira's all physical damage, and so that gives the armor shred for units near him. All right, can we find this? Seeing some Toms here. No, nothing here. Kane does not fit my board. There's another Urgot, so I'm getting close to Urgot 3-star too. I could champion duplicate that as well. I'm just going to keep rolling. All right, there's the set 3-star. Nice. I'm 1 away from Urgot. Now, it's a shame that Urgot has no items. Maybe I can find a Thief's Glove for him or something. So I'm going to keep rolling here. And all right, there's the Urgot. So we just definitely got a lot stronger there. And I still have 2 champion duplicators. I was like, all right, so if I can find a Thresh headliner, I have Thresh 3-star. Or alternately, just find 2 more Threshes in the store. That's also Thresh 3-star. So that's what I'm going for now is the Thresh 3-star. That would probably seal this game. I don't think anyone would be able to get through Thresh 3-star with this setup here. All right, so this is a pretty close fight, but now that I've got these 3-stars, it definitely seemed to make a difference. Urgot did quite a bit of damage, even though he had no items. And then I also had, oh my God, there it is. There's the Thresh. It's a country Thresh. All right, well, yeah, we're going to duplicate that. Okay, let's go. 3-star Thresh. Woo! All right, so what does Thresh do with his 3-star ability? Well, maybe I should cover his actual ability. I don't think I read it yet. He's Country Guardian. Ability is stun the largest group of nearby enemies. Deal magic damage to each. Thresh heals for a certain base heal plus 50% of the total damage dealt. So he stuns the largest group of enemies. Now, normally he has a 2-second stun. He has an 8-second stun when he's a 3-star. Let's see who he goes after in this fight. He's going to stun somebody when his mana bar fills up. All right, so he's going to toss his chain, and he apparently hit Senna. Oh, but she actually didn't get stunned because this person has an augment that blocks the first CC. All right, is he going to get a chance? All right, he did throw his second stun at Senna, and yeah, she's just standing there. So she was taken completely out of the fight, and we're going to knock that person out. Yeah, Thresh didn't even come close to dying. Not even close to dying. All right. So now we've got, what? 2 other players left in the lobby. So at this point, I want to get an item for Urgot. Thief's Glove would be probably the best, but that's not an option. So it's like, all right, Urgot. What does he want here? Bloodthirster. Bloodthirster's good. BT is good. Bloodthirster's probably better than Hand of Justice because he gets the shield, and he has quite a bit of health because he's a 3-star unit. So we'll just slap this on him and, yeah, go from there. I guess I could put more items on set, but I think I benefit more from damage than anything else. All right, well, now what do we roll for? Well, I'd like to get a better unit than the Zed in there. So I'm really just looking for a Guardian unit. And I actually went by an Amumu. I actually had an Amumu in the shop there. Here we go. We'll put Nico in. She also has a Guardian trait. And this is important just because now, so remember how I said Guardian trait, Thresh is going to give a 30% health shield to himself and a nearby unit? Well, now Thresh has 3,000 health. So 30% of that is like a 1,500 health shield to himself and his nearest ally. So, yeah. All right, we're up against the player who's been win streaking. But just keep an eye on Thresh. He's going to go and hook. He hooks the Ziggs. Ziggs is stunned for 8 seconds. Thresh is, yeah, just healing. He goes right back up to full because he heals off the damage that he dealt. And, yeah, this team is not even close to getting through the Thresh. Much less Samira, much less Urgot. And we're going to absolutely crush them in this round. So I have 3-star Samira, 3-star Set, 3-star Urgot, 3-star Katarina, 3-star Thresh. Behold the power of Prismatic Ticket here. All right, so I was looking over here, scouting, trying to see, are they close to 3-starring anything? They are not close to 3-starring anything, and they just quit the lobby because they didn't think they could beat me. I would have liked to have gotten a few more rounds to play around with a 3-star Thresh, but okay, you know, I mean, a first is a first. I'll take it. This was a fun game. I had so many champion duplicators, plus having the prismatic ticket for rerolling, really came together over the course of this game, and I'm super happy with how it turned out. The headliners plus the rerolls are very powerful, and I just had so many champion duplicators, it was very easy to 3-star these units. So it's PBE, but it was still a lot of fun. Anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you enjoyed this one. Until next time, take care, folks. See you soon.